Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to learn how to thread a needle and how to sew a basic zigzag stitch. This may seem like a very simple thing to do, and it kind of is, but it's important to know because some people don't know how to sew, and if you're trying to survive out there, you might find yourself in a position where you need to mend your clothes, or you need to suture a wound, or construct something out of some kind of fabric like canvas for carrying water. There's all sorts of useful things that you can do if you know how to use a needle and some thread. So here's our needle. Then we have our thread. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hold our needle very close in our fingers like this, with the hole facing out so we can easily see it. Now, you're going to take your thread and you're going to very carefully try to insert it into the hole. You can see the thread is just sticking out of the hole in the needle. So I'm going to pinch up and I'm going to start pulling it through. Now, we need to tie this thread so whatever we're sewing, the thread doesn't come out of as we're sewing through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the end of the thread up against our finger, pinch it off. You're going to wind it a couple times around your finger, and then you're going to roll it off of your finger, and you're going to pinch that real tight, and you're going to pull all the way to the end, and there's your knot. We're going to start over here on one end of the cut on the inside of the fabric. We're going to go up and through so the knot is tight up against the inside of that fabric. We are going to come straight across over here. Going to go back down through the fabric. So now what we need to do is look back on the inside. We need to go back to the first point where the knot here is, and you're going to pull that so it's a nice even line on the inside, and then we're going to make our way across. We're going to go across, and when you pull through, you're going to see that this one's going to lay flat like the other one, and it's going to make a V shape, as you can see. Once you get to the end, you, on the outside of the fabric, come across like you did all your other stitches and go down through. Now here's where we're going to close off our cross stitch. So you're going to go down through, back up to the front of the fabric, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come and we are going to cross over our last zigzag, our last V shape instead of our last perpendicular, and that's going to make a nice little X at the end. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go, instead of across the cut perpendicular, we're going to go parallel to it back one stitch. So we're going to come up through the front again, and we don't want to pull too tight because we actually want to leave a nice loop instead of a flat line in the back of the fabric. So you can see there's a nice loop of the thread that wasn't pulled tight. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull it just a little bit. We're going to go back through, take our needle and come up through that loop now that we're on the back side again. And then you're simply just going to pull this nice and tight, and that's going to knot your thread in the back. And when we pull tight, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't rip apart.